Hey everyone, it's Zach with Palantir Research. Palantir, who is partnered with PWC, just got a new contract with the City of London Police for their fraud reporting division. Now, if you look at the headlines of the article and deal, you don't see any mention of Palantir until we get a quote from a PWC partner that is referring to Palantir, who they work with in this case. So I'll go through the deal first and break down how Palantir plays a role. The City of London has awarded Capita and PWC for their action fraud upgrade. So the program itself has been around since 2005, so it's actually pretty old. It's actually the fraud reporting system for the whole of UK, and the main purpose of them is to provide information to the public, so educating them about fraud and the ability to report it. So people can forward emails, which they seem are scammy, or give them an actual call to provide information on possible scams that are going out to the public and are actually affecting people. So the main point of this deal is to upgrade their system to handle the influx or the expected influx of the commonality of fraud nowadays and dealing with the influx of incidents from technology. And they chose Capita and PWC to do this, who in turn relies on Palantir's technology. So the deal itself is £50 million for Capita, who will be responsible for the end-to-end customer management process for potential victims once they contact the division. So they'll be responsible from intaking customer information, ensuring that data and updates are tracked, I'm assuming, and hopefully the eventual closure of people's cases, or at least the endpoint of them. So for reference, the Action Fraud Program receives about 350,000 calls and 2.3 million unique website visits per year, but they're expecting this to actually continue rising. So of course, a small portion of that, or I'm not sure how small of a portion is that, is actual cases. But with all of that information that's going there, you need to be able to sort that out and have a system in place that allows you to actually find out what needs to be investigated more closely, what requires more people there, or what requires really a quick resolution. Now, jumping down, this contract does run until 2029 with an additional option to extend by 2 more years. So this can be very long for them. But basically, this is a long contract where it builds a partnership, and they've seen that, it's an upgrade here. So they want to maintain this kind of system to ensure that it's consistent for people and that it actually works. Now, here's where we get more reference to Palantir. So partnering with Capita, PWC will be the technological arm that will service for the crime and intelligence management, and that is under the National Fraud Intelligence Bureau, or the NFIB. And that works with the action fraud information. So when they receive reports from them, it sounds like there's 2 different bodies here working together. So I'm not entirely sure if it's like a data share, or if they're just sending reports to them, if it's like one-sided, or if it's actually shared both ways. But essentially, they need to set up the technology to work between these 2 different agencies. And this is where Palantir is mentioned by the partner, Scott Logan, that they look forward to working alongside the City of London Police, as well as their technology alliance partner, which is implied to be Palantir since it's in the parentheses. And for more scale and reference to the new service, it has received £152 million in funding. So that's not only for the technological arm, but also for the people who will be working on this and needs to be trained, because we're dealing with possible fraud victims here. You don't just throw a new trainee on the phone, especially if someone's gone through a traumatic event like losing a huge portion of their savings and being scammed. What this all means, though, for Palantir, well, it just goes to show that Palantir, even if you don't know it and it's not on the flashy headlines, it still runs in the background and protects the world, even if it's not the flashy name there. PwC consultants who have experience working and building with Palantir Foundry are deployed for building out these solutions for these kind of contracts. So you're not dealing with a Palantir employee. But this is still good for Palantir, creating network effects, because if you get more and more developers out here who can actually deploy the software, build solutions on top of that, Palantir is essentially going to be powering the world. Remember, Palantir is an operating system that you can build on top of. So PWC in this case is partnered with Palantir using their technology, and this has long been established that Palantir has been in the fraud detection and anti-fraud business for a while here with their financial products, essentially being able to track transactions as well and things that may be suspicious. But if you think about it here, this is actually more scalable for Palantir because first, they're not dealing with direct employees for themselves. So as long as more and more people and engineers get more experience with Foundry or other Palantir products, they'll be able to work with possible other consulting firms, not just Palantir, and they can work with the product and deploy it to different customers because it fits their needs. This is more on the customization aspect here. So if you're getting something out of the box, it sounds like these PWC consultants probably have experience with the out-of-box items here, but can apply it to the specific use cases that are needed for these clients. So it's not really surprising overall that Palantir is working in the background here, but this was just a quick news article here just to let you know about this deal. But I'm curious about your thoughts below, and I'll see you in the next video.